You chose absolutely right, tuning into Rwanda Television News tonight. Good evening and welcome to our edition. This is what is coming up. On Thursday, Prime Minister Dr. Edouard Ngirente participated in a session on health products manufacturing on the African continent.
The Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation noted that within a year, there are about 400 Rwandans, mostly young girls, were prevented from crossing the borders of the country because of the authorities that realized that they were going to be trafficked abroad.
A very good evening to you and welcome to Rwanda Television News. My name as always is Sam Kalisa.
And mine, Martina Evera.
How are you doing, Martina?
I'm very good. How are you?
Very great.
Yes, let us begin our bulletin by letting you know that on Thursday, Prime Minister Dr. Edouard Ngirente participated in a session on health products manufacturing on the African continent. We have more on this report.
The sidelines of the Global Gateway Forum in Brussels, Belgium, the Prime Minister announced Rwanda's initiative of setting up an African Biomanufacturing Institute which aims to address the shortage of skills in biomanufacturing on the continent.
I want just to mention something about education. Education is because, as everyone has mentioned, there is an issue of capacity building. And I want to share what we're doing in Rwanda. While we're setting up the vaccine manufacturing plants in the country, we have also anticipated and we are establishing now, we're putting in place an African Biomanufacturing Institute that is going to be a training center for all Africans who want to be trained as a professional in that field, so that those are people who will be working for those manufacturing plants in Africa. So it's not the Rwandan Institute, every African who want to be trained that field will come to be trained in Rwanda, and they will be having some courses out of Rwanda.
After the session, the Prime Minister participated in the signing of an aid agreement between the European Union and the European Central Bank to support the African health sector.
First, we are signing with the European Investment Bank an additional 500 million euros to strengthen health systems around the world, in Africa, in Latin America, and in Asia. These funds will complement the whole range of work on global health, supporting the different Team Europe initiatives. Secondly, I am very pleased to sign an additional Global Gateway investment of 134 million euros to complement specifically the activities of the Team Europe initiative on manufacturing and access to vaccines, medicines, and health technologies in Africa.
The grant will fund the establishment of biomanufacturing industries on the continent, including biotech in Rwanda. Prime Minister Dr. Edouard Ngirente also met with the Commissioner of the European Union and discussed areas of cooperation. In the meeting, a ceremony was held to sign €50 billion grant agreement for the development of pre-primary education in Rwanda. The agreement was signed by the Minister of Education Gaspard Twagirayezu and the EU Commissioner for International Cooperation. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation noted that within a year, there are about 400 Rwandans, mostly young girls, who were prevented from crossing the border of the country because the authorities realized that they were going to be trafficked abroad. Adam Squizera.
This was revealed on Thursday by the Minister of State for Foreign Affairs in charge of regional cooperation, retired General James Kabarebe, in a discussion held with senators from the Committee on Foreign Affairs, Cooperation and Security. He told this committee that these young people found themselves in danger after arriving in those countries.
Abana cyane cyane b'abakobwa immigration na police.
Children, especially girls, were stopped by the immigration and police at the border. Within only this year, there are 400 that were prevented from crossing the border. Every day they find like a 20, 19 or 18 years old girl trying to cross the border, but when asked, she says that she's going to Tanzania. By the time you inspect throughout her phone, you find that there is a connection that will take her to Oman.
He noted
that in Oman, There have been various Rwandans who faced this issue, but later got helped by the government to return back to their country.
Gahunda yo kurwanya human trafficking hano yarahagurukiwe cyane ku buryo ntabwo byoroshye.
We stood up against this human trafficking, to the point that now it is not easy anymore to carry out anything related to that here, except some who uses tricks and cross the border. For example, in Oman, we have more than 1,780 people who are known that they are working there. In all those, 32 of them are the only ones who applied to be facilitated to get a return back to Rwanda. But still, that seems to be illegal, since now we are looking forward on making a legal path for them.
Ariko uburyo bw'inzira zemewe burimo burigwa.
The Minister of State for Foreign Affairs in charge of regional cooperation also pointed out that there is a policy that is being proved regarding the way Rwanda would send workers to other countries in a legal way with clarity information to be in use of tracking them. Adam Squizera, RTV News.
The Minister of State in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in charge of regional cooperation, retired General James Kabarebe, explained to the members of the Senate Committee on Foreign Affairs, Cooperation and Security how Rwandans living abroad are helped to participate in the development of the country. He explained to the Senate Committee that the participation of the many members of the Rwandan diaspora in the development of the country is increasing as their abilities increase.
Abenshi muri bo baracyari babandi bakora imirimo iciriritse bakorera umushahara ukwezi cyangwa barara amajoro icyo basaguye akaba ari cyo bazana.
Most of them do blue-collar jobs, earning monthly salaries. Some work night shifts, and they send what they are able to save back home. This is a challenge to the country, because as the country develops, as more people get educated and become professionals and get to work in international organizations, the diaspora grows bigger and stronger.
Ikagira imbaraga n'ibyo yohereza mu gihugu nabyo bikiyongera.
Senators thanked the ministry for the measures in place to involve Rwandans living abroad in the development of the country. However, they requested to solve emerging issues. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs assured the senators that it is going to find a solution to the problems that still exist, including establishing an active database for the Rwandans in the diaspora. Currently, Rwanda has 47 embassies in different countries around the world, and 44 countries have embassies in Rwanda.
And moving ahead to other matters, 400 milk collection points are going to be built around the country, where milk cooling systems will be installed to maintain the quality of the milk so that it can be delivered to the processing plant while it's still fresh. This is the content of the loan agreement of 23 million euros that Rwanda signed with a Polish Development Bank. We do have the details.
It is a loan of 23 million euros, that is 29 billion Rwandan francs, given by the Development Bank in Poland, which will be paid over a period of 12 years. The representative of this bank, Jarek Twoga, says that they decided to work with Rwanda by starting to improve the quality of standards of the people because the development of the country is solely for them.
Personally, I'm very happy that Rwanda is the first country to whom BGK provides sovereign finance lending. That lending is insured by Polish export credit agency KUKE. And Rwanda, in my opinion, and maybe not only mine, Rwanda is a perfect example and even the model for other African countries how to unleash the potential. I was impressed of Rwanda during my first visit here 5 years ago. However, these days my impression is even stronger, even bigger, when I see how a country has been developing and successfully facing all the challenges. I strongly believe that both export contract between RAP and FASPOL and our credit facility agreement between Minecofin and BGK will open a new chapter in cooperation between our countries. And it should be also a trigger for other Polish companies, other Polish businesses to start doing business here in heart of Africa, here in Rwanda.
These agreements were signed while Rwanda has a project to build a factory that will process milk and powder. The Minister of Finance and Economic Planning, Dr. Uziel Ndagijimana, who represented the Rwandan government at the signing of this agreement, expressed the benefits of this expected loan.
We very much appreciate this support, which will really improve our milk value chain, especially as we are building a new milk processing plant. But this is part of a wider economic cooperation between Rwanda and Poland, and it is really a testimony of fast-growing bilateral cooperation between our two countries. The government of Rwanda is very appreciative to this support, and it is open for many more opportunities, both government-to-government cooperation, but also private investment from Poland.
400 milk collection points will be built, especially in areas where there is often a lot of water, where the quality of the milk will be maintained, starting from the storing part and then transporting it to the processing plant. On to matters of the health sector, mental health experts point out that it is important to create a platform for young people to discuss on mental health and drug abuse. Olive Nete with more.
Family conflicts, peer pressure, and unemployment are among the top causes of mental health problems among young people. The Rwanda Biomedical Center, in collaboration with Solid Minds, a counseling clinic, launched a campaign in various universities in Rwanda aimed at encouraging young people to take care of their mental health, but also focus on preventing and combating the use of drugs. Some of these young people say that having enough time to talk about the problems they face is one of the answers that can help them to have a good mental health.
When you're addicted to something, it's very hard for you to let go. So one thing I find that could really help the youth to pull themselves out of that alcoholism is helping them to find something that they're really passionate about, whether it's music, whether it's community service, and then they can immerse themselves in that rather than alcoholism. I think that would give them the strength to pull themselves out of that, although it's not an easy journey. Some people might not realize that there is a problem, but when we talk about this, when we hold these conversations, the youth can even come out and say the challenges they're facing, and then the people who have the power to can refer themselves to that to know what to change.
Putting out awareness campaigns like this to help eradicate and debunk all stereotypes that we have about mental health, about depression, I think is what will help us. Because in our society, especially here in Africa, we have this mentality that black people don't need therapy. They keep saying black people are strong, that we can overcome everything, which is not mostly so. So I think raising campaigns like this will help.
I believe as this event is happening, even different institutions that are helping to raise awareness is the vital thing that is needed right now. Because yes, we know it's even trending, but beyond trending, is youth getting what is really mental health disorders? Is youth getting really, why do I even need to take care of my mind?
If you see a friend who is not okay, you try to talk to them, giving them time and space. Two, raising awareness on mental health in schools. Also, another thing where we can do is by forming a mental health awareness club.
Mental health experts and the organizations that strive to promote good mental health say that creating a platform for young people to discuss the problems they face is important in dealing with these issues.
We have had campaigns going on in different universities in Rwanda to support the youth who are struggling with addictions, be it alcohol or drug abuse, to educate them and to empower them to be able to overcome these addictions, but also to normalize the fact that asking for help is okay. If you are addicted and you need help, that it is okay. These campaigns are very important because they educate and they empower the students, but as well we are supporting students' associations, mental health champions in a number of universities who will continue this raising awareness and providing information and support to students who are undergoing through mental health challenges.
uburyo bwo gukemura ikibazo ntabwo ari ukwiyahuza ibiyobyabwenge inzoga cyangwa.
Solving their current issues does not mean to engage in drugs or technology because it worsens the situation. The second thing is that, be the young people or the old ones, if you have a burden or sorrow, seek for advices. The third is that parents ought to think again on how they are living because it is affecting younger generations.
Abana ingorane zitandukanye.
The Rwanda Biomedical Center urges young people to seek help from experts as soon as they start to realize some of the signs of mental health disorders.
Twatangiye no kubibona hari abantu benshi bahinduka. Tutangiye kubibona dufite ubuhamya bwinshi bw'abantu batubwira.
We have cases where people change. We have testimonies of people who say that they used to drink on a certain level, but it decreased, or that they no longer drink. The number of those that seek help are also increasing because they believe that they are experiencing effects of drug abuse. When they seek for help, we take it positively. This aims at increasing the number of these people seeking for health services. The World Health Organization demonstrates that more than 155 million young people in the world between the age of 15 and 19 drink alcohol at an excessive rate, which affects their mental health.
In collaboration with the Netherlands Development Organization SNV, IDH Rwanda and the Rwanda National Agriculture Export Development Board, a local avocado exporting company named Souk Farms, has managed to send a shipment of 20.4 tons of avocados to the Netherlands for the first time. This achievement is being seen as a great opportunity not just for the company, but the industry as a whole.
We work with over 1,200 farmers all across the country growing avocados. But what we do is we work very closely with farmers by giving them technical expertise to help them ensure that the quality meets the European and even the Middle East standard also for the avocados we export. So that's something very important for us because if you don't follow the right agricultural practices, it's very easy to have a lot of avocado that doesn't meet the export requirements. So we are very key on giving technical expertise to the farmers we work with. This is a very, very big event today, I have to be honest, and it's something very momentous for this industry because by exporting avocado by sea freight, what we're able to do is we're able to scale our industry because currently majority of avocado from Rwanda is sent by air freight. And air freight, as you can imagine, is dependent on the availability of capacity on airplanes. But with sea freight, we can expand our business and expand the industry very quickly because in the container that went out today, we have about 22.4 tons of avocado in that container alone. That is the equivalent of filling a whole airplane with avocado.
Such economic ventures are beneficial for all parties involved, both here in Rwanda and in the Netherlands.
We like avocados, just like you do. Second of all, we try to do something for the climate change and for the future of the world, so for the future of the Rwandans as well as for the future of the people in the Netherlands, because we have to change the way how we transport things. For example, like as I just said, compared to air transport in sea freight, it makes an enormous difference in carbon emission, and it's also cheaper, which makes it interesting for producers and for entrepreneurs. So in this sense, it's an ideal setup. And I think after this shipment, it has been proven that it's also interesting for entrepreneurs. And this is also where we come in, because one of the things that we try to do here is to support the private sector. So private sector development to make sure that Rwandan companies will have better access to our markets, and also the other way around, by the way. And I just would like to emphasize, because this is really nice, I think we just saw history in the making. Because this is the first time that fresh fruit from Rwanda will go to Europe by ship. And this is a huge step, because from here we can go further. So this is a wonderful cooperation. We just waved off 124,000 avocados for the European market, for the Netherlands. And that in itself is already an enormous achievement, and we are very happy to be part of this.
And that's all from us here at Rwanda Television News. On behalf of the entire news production, as well as the technical team, many thanks for being with us. My name is Sam Kalisa.
And mine, Martina Avera.
I'll say up until next time.
Stay safe.
And have a great evening.